guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button to join the Happy Soul Tribe and you won't miss out on future videos with me. Glasses seem super dirty. I can't even really see what's happening. It is the dead of winter here in the Midwest. The Midwest is just not the best place to be if you're not a fan of winter and gloomy weather and just no sunshine in general. It's not the most fun place to be if you enjoy sunshine. I have been pretty open about this in the past and like on my Instagram and stuff. I struggle already mentally with some anxiety and depression, and the winter just kind of hits pretty hard every year. And I feel like I struggle a lot with winter blues, seasonal depression, if you will. I know I've never like gone in and got diagnosed with it, so I don't want to say that it's like depression, but I definitely struggle very badly in the winter. It feels like I'm not myself at all. I wanted to share with you guys some things that I have found that I do in the winter time that have kind of helped not completely get rid of the winter blues, but have helped me bear with them and help keep my head above the water and see the positive and see the sunshine in each day. It's not always easy. We're nearing the end of winter, fingers crossed, and hopefully moving into spring, moving on to bigger and better things. We're almost there, guys. Like, if you struggle, just hold on to that little hope. We are almost out the other side and the sun is gonna come back. So the first thing that I've noticed that has really helped, obviously, is that I try to keep up with my morning routine. I try to make my morning routines more interesting and change them up and switch them up by sitting in different places in my house and adding in maybe a different book or a different type of journal or a different type of journaling process to the mix. So lately I've been reading Get Out of Your Head by Jenny Allen, and you guys, it is such a good book, especially how like perfect it is for the timing of my life and for winter blues. And it's kind of hilarious how I even came to find the book, because I remember one morning I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed and I was really down and I was like, I'm not gonna do my morning routine today. So I got on my phone to scroll through Amazon to like avoid doing actually anything productive for myself. And you wanna know what happened? The cover of that book showed up as a suggested purchase for me, and with one click I purchased it without even like reading the description or anything. I didn't know anything about the author. I didn't know if it was a faith-based book or not, but I was like, I need this, and I was right. Like, that was a total God thing, and the book has been helping me a lot. So I've been adding that in, but I try to just add in a fresh new book that I can look forward to reading, because I think something that really helps with winter blues is having something to look forward to in your day, and sometimes the same routine is just not that. So adding something in to spice up your routine. But like I said, I do my morning routine, especially on the days that I don't want to, and especially in the winter, because I need it. Another thing that I've been really trying to focus on is just moving my body in any way possible and just being active. And so that looks different every day for me. I do a lot of workouts here at home now that we have like some weights in the basement and stuff, or I go to the gym and I just move my stinking body. I don't have anything super crazy or specific that I do. I just have been trying to break a sweat every day, get my heart rate up, and that allows me to escape my head a little bit and also allows me to gather my thoughts a lot. And that's something that I have noticed with my particular seasonal blues, is that I'm just so much in my head because I feel like I'm stuck in my house all the time because it's cold outside, it's gray outside, and it just makes me pull back and like isolate myself in my thoughts, which is not always a pleasant place to be and not always a truthful place to be. So working out and getting active helps me to kind of work through those thoughts and also just forget about them for at least an hour or however long I'm moving my body for. And like I said, this looks different every day, so you could do some light stretching, you could do a yoga session, you could work out, you could meet a friend for a walk, you could literally do some jumping jacks in your living room. Austin and I have been taking walks even though it's cold and just disgusting outside. It just still feels so good to get outside, to actually leave the house and get fresh air, even if the fresh air is like 20 degrees. It still helps. So we walk Beanie every day, and I try to move my body, not every day, but I just try to move in some stinking way. It helps me process my thoughts. It helps me feel so much better. Obviously, there's a little bit of science behind it too. When you work out, when you move your body, you're gonna get those endorphins, and that can help increase serotonin production, which therefore helps you hopefully be a happier human being, especially internally. I do focus a lot on moving my body. I try to nourish my body and hydrate. One thing I have noticed for myself is in the winter, I definitely don't crave or go to fresh food as often as I do in the summer. In the summer, a fresh, delicious salad sounds so good to me. An amazing smoothie sounds so good to me. Just a fresh meal sounds better in the summer. And drinking water is a lot easier in the summer because you're parched and it's hot out. In the winter, you're cozied up in your house, it's cold outside, and all I want to do, maybe you want to do, all I want to do is eat warm and baked goods and baked meals, which is totally fine. Like if you want to eat tons of cookies, you do you. But I personally have noticed that just because I want to do those things does not mean that those things are good for me or going to help me or make me feel better. In my head, I'm like, yeah, 100 cookies are going to make me feel better, but it doesn't work like that. So I have really been trying to focus on nourishing my body. I do drink a ton of water throughout the day. I just always have a big mason jar full or my hydro jug. I try to empty them 2 to 3 times a day and have drank 2 to 3 of them. And that helps me get my water consumption up. And when you're well hydrated, some of your unhealthier cravings go away, or they become less strong, and so they don't have as much control over you. And another thing that I've been trying to do to make sure that I'm really like nourishing my body is I try to eat vegetables in some shape or form at least twice a day. So that can be by adding them to my smoothie, by having a quick salad, munching on some carrots and broccoli with hummus or something. Some way, shape, or form, I try to eat vegetables and fruits twice a day, because that combination, having a healthy food consumption, a really good balanced diet with fruits and veggies and protein, and being hydrated, it's impossible for you to not feel better in some way. Not completely cured, but it's impossible for you to not feel better, because you naturally feel good when you're making good decisions for yourself, but those foods and those fruits and veggies have nutrients and vitamins in them that you may be lacking in the wintertime, and that really are going to balance you out and help you just feel all around better. Another thing, have a hobby. This is really important for me in general because I tend to be like a workaholic. I'm always thinking about work. I'm always thinking of ways I can be better, things that I should be doing more, and that applies to like just me as a person in general. I have very high expectations for myself. I'm always thinking of ways I can be a better wife, a better daughter, a better friend, everything you can think of. And so having a hobby helps me to take my mind off of that and just remember that life is meant to be enjoyed. Like, we're really truly meant to enjoy life, and there's so many things that we don't make time for because they don't make us money or they're not a productive thing in our life. But I don't want to be that way. I want to be able to waste time if it's something that's making me feel better, and it's totally okay, and you have the permission to do that. You can spend time on things that don't necessarily add value or money to your life. It's not a waste of time, especially if it's adding joy to your heart. So my hobbies include working out. I love working out. I love breaking a sweat and putting on some good music and just working hard. I love taking care of my plants. Like, that is such a hobby for me. Seeing my plants thrive, figuring out what's wrong with them, figuring out where I should move them to, just taking care of them every week is something I so enjoy, and Austin enjoys it too, so it's something that we can do together. I love DIY projects, like literally anything DIY, I am all for it. I'm constantly scrolling through Pinterest looking for budget DIY things that I can do for our house or just for me or my enjoyment, and that is something that allows me to keep my hands busy, my thoughts busy, and have something that I can actually enjoy, even though outdoors and everything else just seems kind of slow and gloomy. I have a hobby that I can enjoy. I love reading books, especially a good book, like a good book that's gonna help me work towards a better version of myself, or a good like murder mystery book. I love reading. I love making the time for it. It causes me to like slow down. We play board games, card games, ping pong, anything that keeps us from just sitting in front of a TV, staring at a screen and thinking about how depressing and how, I don't know, just not fun the winter is. Develop a hobby. There's so many that you can find, and even if you're not good at it, if it's something that you enjoy doing, develop a stinking hobby, because that will ultimately save you, I think, in the wintertime or in times of stress, or when you just feel like you have stopped prioritizing yourself.
Hi, you did not like the camera.
Think of something that you want to get better at and take the time in the winter to get really good at it. Things that I can't really do or make you do, but things that I've just come to realize that do kind of help during this really hard, not so fun season, is just realizing that it's important. Like, I would not appreciate spring and summer and my joyful seasons if I didn't have seasons where I didn't necessarily feel that way. I do feel like I grow a lot during the winter. I learn a lot about myself. This probably sounds so dramatic to you, like, oh, you struggle during the winter, but unless you have it, you don't know how hard it is. But I just learn a lot about myself. I try to draw closer to the people that I love and to the Lord, and just let Him teach me something through it. And it just goes to show you that God is good even when it feels like there's no blessings pouring into your life, that life is good even when there's not necessarily anything tangible that is bringing you joy. It's just good to be alive. There's not going to be seasons where we look forward to waking up every day. There's not always going to be seasons where everything is just fine and dandy, the sun is shining, everything's going great. You're going to have seasons where you just don't feel like showing up and you have to keep doing it. And I think that these seasons teach me the importance of that, because that's a lesson that I'm going to need later on in life, that I have to show up even when I don't want to, or even when I don't feel like my best self, or when I feel like I have nothing to offer. I do think that the winter teaches us a lot and reveals a lot about ourselves, and shows that like we have an issue with slowing down, because that's what the winter does. Usually work slows down for people, and just life in general, it forces you to slow down. And the summer is just so fun and exciting because there's new things going on all the time. There's so many more events to go to, so many things you can go out and do, and you can just stay busy. But when it's the winter time, you have to slow down and really be alone with your thoughts. So I'm trying to look at it from a positive perspective and realize that this is a chance to grow a lot and to learn a lot about myself, and to heal in ways that I need to heal, and to become the best version of myself for spring and summer.
Hate me?
Think about it this way. Every day that passes by is one less day that you have to wait for the sun to come back. Just like plants and flowers, as cheesy as this sounds, I don't think humans are always in like a harvesting and blooming season. We need winters, we need a slow season, and not everybody loves it, and I think it's just because it makes us uncomfortable. It makes us sit still with ourselves long enough to realize that we've got some work to do. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps support my channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed it, and you can join the Happy Soul Tribe. And also, make sure you go out of your way today to love on someone and make them feel extra special just because they are. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye guys.